Hey everybody, today I'm going to talk about how hard you should be training in the gym. No matter if you're new to resistance training or you've been training for some time, these tips that I'm going to share with you in the video is really going to help you to stay away from injury and put more consistent progress together in the gym. Okay, so how hard should you be training? What's your intensity like? Now, this is always going to be dictated by stress, your lifestyle, your ability to recover from your last training session, sleep, and all kind of the stresses that come with life. So imagine it as a scale. Sometimes you're at the bottom of that scale, number one, and you have a lot going on, so you're not going to be able to train as hard as you would like. And that's okay. You just need to understand that sometimes you need to back off your training intensity. And then sometimes it might be the top of the scale, 10, you might feel great and you can train 100% and you feel like your lifts are going up. But keeping that in mind and not thinking that every time you go to the gym, you should just be able to beat your scores. But there is a structure that we can put into place to help you stay away from injury, stay away from just complete fatigue all of the time, and make your training more consistent and more productive. So it is called reps in reserve, and this is something that we implement with our clients and has helped them to put longer amounts of time of progress together. So very basic scale I've put here together is a 4-week phase of training, where week 1 we're allowing 2 reps in reserve. So let's put this into context. So let's say we've got a bench press and we've got planned 8 reps for that bench press. We're going to put a weight on the bar that allows us to get 10 reps if we wanted to. So I'm going to hit my 8 and knowing I've got 2 reps in reserve. That is what that's done. And that's a nice week to start off with, because we're not going to failure. We're not really trying to push our weights. We're just getting that foundation down to then build from, okay? Week 2, then I might be only going to 1 rep in reserve. So I've been able to up the weight on the bar slightly and only have that 1 rep in reserve. Week 3 is that week where I'm going to push as hard as I can. I'm got no reps in reserve and I'm really trying to push my weight, push my numbers up where possible. And then week 4, we can look at a deload, where we're just bringing the weights down and allowing for 3 to 4 reps in reserve. And this is going to allow us to recover and then go again. And once we go back to that week 1, we may change up a few movements. We look at different exercises to push them up. And this is going to really allow for longer periods of training. So implementing a reps in reserve idea is going to be really helpful for your longevity in the gym. Okay, so a few things to consider. Now, implementing a reps in reserve structure is really going to help you to stay consistent with your training, but always looking and remembering that we're looking for progressive overload. So once you go back to those movements, make sure you've logged all your weights and your reps so you can try and beat those reps or that weight on the bar or the machine. And taking into consideration lifestyle, stress, sleep, recovery. These are going to have a bearing on your ability to perform, and understanding that sometimes you're just not going to be able to train 100%. Sometimes you may need to just back off a little bit and understand that if you have poor sleep at that time or you're highly stressed, your performance in the gym may have to take a back seat slightly. But implementing reps in reserve is going to be really helpful for your ability to train for longer and gain those bigger and better results.